take a picture is all I gotta say. We got some snow, but it's going fast. That snow I videoed at noon today by the pond's already gone. So we'll talk about the biggest game in Weber State football history. Will be here on Saturday, right here. It will be the biggest game in the history of this program. Sac State's coming in here, undefeated. The anti-Jody Sears Bowl, I call it. I did the play-by-play for all those years. Jody Sears is the worst coach in college football history, bar none. And I'm not talking just wins or loss, corruption. Oh, this was a nightmare. Now, I want you to think about this. And that's not opinion. That's not opinion. This program got the death sentence under him. It was beyond horrific. I think they won one home game in 3 or 4 years. No local players. You took at his career. You go over his entire career. Now, why would a coach this horrible, this nightmare, even the NCAAs went after him? Who hired him? After he left here? Sac State. What? So, Taylor, the coach of Sac State, will tell you straight up that he uses the Jody Sears, or excuse me, he uses the opposite Jody Sears model. He uses the Jay Hill. What Jay Hill's done here is legend. Local, this whole team, Weber State's whole team, are locals. Taylor goes into Sac State, takes that nightmare program and says, I'm doing the same thing. You're going to be Sacramento. Young men on this football team. Oh, are they good? Undefeated. That was an epic classic, Idaho. Speaking of Idaho, the Vigil boys, Mark, my friend from here, Vigil, he played quarterback at Idaho. The Vigil boys wanted to play here. Jody Sears wouldn't even look at him, wouldn't even give him the second time of day. Let's see, Nick's still in the NFL. How many years? And by the way, Saints, if you're not going to play the greatest, most exciting player in the entire NFL, trading, my God, what are you doing? I mean, it's a travesty not just to RASHID. It's a nightmare to fans. I mean, my grandsons are chomping at the bit. You know, they're friends with him, and you're stealing from all of us. Saints, the NFL, you're stealing from us. You're stealing from us. You're stealing from us. We don't get to see him. He's on the field in that horrific game against the Raiders, where the Raiders didn't cross him 15 plays. They throw 3 balls to him. One was the second longest play the Saints had all day. Well, the second longest play in the game. Either team. 3 passes to him, 3 catches. You know, kickoff returns. Raiders can't score. How can he run back? I guess, you know, if you're not going to play him, trade him. Trade him. I mean, this guy would be, well, he already has. I mean, my God, what do you want? It's like Opeta. When they came here and the NFL gave him the workout, the all-time record on the 225 bar is 34. He put up 40. And they still didn't draft him. He's playing for the Eagles. How about them Phillies, by the way? Oh, my God. I mean, everybody could talk, you know, Dusty, blah, 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 blah. You know, and he was tipping pitches, obviously, but the bottom line, it wouldn't matter. Dusty was playing. Why? Wouldn't have mattered. Wasn't the Astros 0? Can you win a baseball game with no runs? I don't think so. So this will be the game of the century. For real. This will be the biggest game in Weber State history. Oh, it'll be classic. It'll be epic. Weber State should be undefeated. You know, we're going to throw that. I don't know what happened. Sands bounced back. Just shows you. You know, the snapper. I don't know what happened. I mean, that's a whole nother distance. I mean, blow your mind. So, this will be the game of the century. And like I said, if you're not going to play RASHID, trade him, you're stealing from all of us. You're not just stealing from RASHID. We all know what he is around here. You're stealing from the fans. I mean, you're just going to, well, of course, I guess thank you to the Saints for drafting, because nobody else did. Well, they didn't draft him. He's undrafted. Well, this guy right here, 169th in the draft. By the way, I'm headed over to see Magic Jones play. So we got a little bit of snow. It'll be 50 degrees here. The snow will all be gone. It'll be gone here in another couple hours, as you can see. You can set your sundial by the snow here. Speaking of snow, I did the play-by-play in the main game in the end zone right there. Well, I was full of leukemia. This is what well, they got rid of the radio station. I mean, don't get me going. There's the old signal right there. That's it. They tore it down. Sold it for 100 grand. So, a long conversation with Mr. Barron and my favorite player, my neighbor, Hayes Hadley, who I grew up with his dad, really close friends with his uncle, it hurts Weber. That's the only thing that they hurt. Hayes Hadley was worth 20, 30 yards. He'd flip the field like no other. And he's gone. He'll be back next year, but God, I mean, I've never seen anybody with instincts like him. Fast, 20, 30 yards every time he on the punt. And hopefully Sharp will be back. Hopefully the new Lightning RASHID will be back. Abraham Williams in concussion protocol. So it'll be a classic, you know. And what these two coaches did, well, Jay's the pioneer of it. What Taylor's done down there, so impressive. So Weber State opens basketball tonight. It's an exhibition game. Adams State, and new coach, thank God. Thank you. Greg Duff, I like him. He's been around here for a long time. Got a lot of talent. JJ Dockery here, they got a shot blocker for the first time in 30 years. Of course, got a lot of veteran players here back, including the next, not Damian Willard, oh no, the next Jerry Harding. 6'6", 6'7", dribble, rebound. Magic Jones, I've been calling. He says, "You're really coming up, Mike." And I'm like, well, that's what you play like. You rebound, you dribble, you shoot, you know. Led the country in double-doubles last year. But, so, this will be the game of the century here. Should be epic. Well, it will be epic. There's no doubt. It's the best kept cup secret in all of sports. Big Sky Athletics, because it's not sports merchandising companies like the other ones are. It's how beautiful is the mighty Wasatch today. So competitive as hell, and these players are all that. Yeah, ask Cooper Kupp. What did he go? 120th, 130th? Huh. What did John Johnson go? 169th. What did SHAHEED, fastest of them all, which I call Lightning RASHID, because he caused a lightning storm when he ran back the kickoff at Utah, literally. Ran back the kickoff, lightning hit the freaking stadium and knocked out power for an hour. Whittingham was shitting down both legs. You're not going to play him. Trade him. Jonah Williams, how about him? Woo! They have about 15 of them on this team. So, it'll be epic. What's my prediction? Weber State by a touchdown. 27-20. It'll be a classic. By the way, you can set your sundial by it. It snows I've been here my whole life. And by the way, that incredible Player of the Year, Utah State Player of the Year, last name Blanche. He was here on a recruiting trip. He knows where I think he should play. It'll be up to him and his dad, but his dad, what a coach. I was his dad's coach. I want him to play here. So, we'll see. Game of the century for Weber State, literally. Well, it's the biggest game in Weber State history. I told Mickey, Mental, the new office coordinator, before the game over here, I was walking up through the union. I says, let me tell you something. These next 2 weeks will define Weber State athletics for the next decade. He says, you think? I says, I don't think shit. I know. I don't do commentary. I do reality. Snow, Utah. So, it'll be epic. I'm so excited for it. And again, come on, you fucking Saints. If you're not going to fucking play him, trade him. Trade him. Many teams has left. I mean, he plays on Monday Night Football. So I'm going to throw him out. He got the greatest exacting in history. First run, 44 yards. The same play that he blew the knee out. And he wasn't going to get drafted anyway. I was talking to these scouts. They hate big sky players. Why? How about Mr. Allen riding his horse into the stadium? So, big sky. So, he'll get the trifecta on Monday night. He ain't getting no kick returns. They don't count. Because why? The Raiders couldn't score. How can you run back kickoffs when they don't kick off? He got one, they kicked away from him. So he didn't get a run. He didn't run one single kickoff. He's a kickoff specialist. So, Abraham Williams, Hayes Hadley. Hayes is out. So, if you're not going to, he'll get the trifecta on Monday Night Football. Going against, we just heard, one of them Ravens. For whom the bell tolls. Game of the century. Big Sky football. Well, biggest game in Weber State football history. And again, I've only done the play-by-play here for 40-something years. The anti-Jody Sears Bowl. You think? No, I don't fucking do I think. I know. Oh, do I? It's like I told the asshole coach up there before Jay got here. Me and him got into a fucking spat about how fucking pathetic they were not recruiting local players. I said, listen, fuckhead. Number one, I was here when you got here. I'll be here when you fucking leave. Stand.